you know. So your county jail, are you guys housed with everyone, or are you guys housed alone?
They still try and keep the old school rules to where, race with race. But again, because like in my experience, because Asians are so scarce in numbers, they might just throw us in with anybody, you know. Maybe not a political like a supremacist or anything like that, but just any other race if they're non affiliated, or I mean, even if they are affiliated, but not particularly
If you're
white.
just Joe inmate, they put you guys together anyway.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? If you're just a standard Joe, you're Billy Bob coming, you know what I mean? Like, put him in with this guy. Who cares, right?
Right, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Now, when you hit the feds, did they keep you in Colorado?
Yeah, I went to Florence FCI Medium.
Yeah, Florence is no joke, man. Florence is no joke.
Yeah.
Especially the max there. What's it? It's 17 stories underground, isn't it?
So that's ADX because they have a whole big
Right. You're right.
complex. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like 17 floors underground though. That's crazy, man. And when they say never see daylight again, they mean it. You know, that's for those that want to become that guy, and they do become that guy, and they catch up with you. That's where you go. You know,
Yeah.
They take a lot of Bingham was sent there. You know what I mean? Just like a lot of the fellows get sent there. You know what I mean? And it's what they say. You'll never see daylight again. I remember just coming out from Los Angeles County and going to the joint finally. I was as white as a ghost. I was a awkward white, you know what I mean? Like from just being in 1750 for so long and then the fluorescent lights, I was an awkward white, you know, bald head, and just I looked that unhealthy white, you know what I mean? And so guess what? So did every Mexican, so did every black dude that had been there for years. You know, they just looked that unhealthy white. Do you know the look I'm talking about?
Like, shoot, I'm dark as hell. Cambodians get dark as hell, and I spent a few months in the hole, like 6 months in the hole one time, and came out and looked, the pale white, people said, compared to what I usually look. But a lot of guys will come out looking like that.
So I generally don't save this for this channel. Were you involved in any activity that you would have preferred not to have been involved, or did you choose to step up in any moves that you had to make? Definitely
did. There was one instance that happened in the feds that, because I did a year in the feds where I had to do 6 months fighting my case in the BOP FDC. That's a Bureau of Prisons facility. And it gets live in there too. But once I get to my actual place, I only have 6 months. I'm trying to stay out of the crap and out of all things that's going to happen. Because, I'm not going to lie, not a lot of stuff happens with the other car, but sometimes it does. And there was a particular day something did have to happen. But so that's feds. But in state, I have a story on my channel that I did where they put this stupid young gangbanger, and he was a Crip, in with one of my buddies after we just got out of the hole. And
he was a black Crip or Cambodian Crip?
He was a black Crip, yeah.
Okay.
And so that's and I don't know why they did that, because we came into the pod and we was trying to tell the unit manager to put us. I mean, it only makes sense. We're the only two Asians in here. Why wouldn't you not sell us up? But that's how the unit manager was trying to do us. So we go to Chow, and the Crip guy and one of his buddies take all of my homeboy's stuff and store it in another cell. But we had a birdie come by and tell us while we're in the chow hall that that he's seeing this go down. So we get up, we're going back, we're getting the locks and socks and little ready-made shanks, and I'm about to go up there and start, handling this dude. But there was a brother, a black guy came and pulled me to the side, and he was like, "Hey, I see what's going on. We're aware of it. Let me talk to somebody." So he goes and talks to this old head that's, I guess, like, that has the word or the say so for all of the blacks, right? And so this is whenever I really started learning about politics. I'm ready. I'm just ready to go and do violence and do all this stuff. But, just if there's a better way, let's find out. So he goes and talks to them. He says, we'll get his stuff back and talk to unit managers, but we don't want any of the Asians jumping on the blacks. So I considered it, and I'm not going to make a move without, telling or informing all of the other Asians what's going on. That would just be, stupid for me to do. But so I have to go back and forth from this unit to this unit to negotiate with these people, get his stuff back, and what it all came down to. And this never happens, but this is, I guess, only here in DOC, and it was fair that my buddy and the Crip guy, they go into this closet and handle their business. Just the rules were, the first one to hit the ground, no boots, no weapons, first one to get knocked out. And so they both agreed on that, and all the blacks and the Asians, they agreed on it. So that's what happened. But it almost got out of hand because we had a young knucklehead dude, Asian dude, try and run in after him. And so what happened was I had to grab him real fast, and this other black guy they was all starting to pile in at that moment, but I grabbed the dude, and I had to get in between them and break it up. And so I was getting hit too, but the guy, the leader of the blacks, he was the head of the Moore Science too. He was like, yeah, that's good. Like I was supposed to do and to keep the peace. But if I would have just let that happen, the shit would have went downhill on all ends. Even with the other car, they probably would have came down on me, because half of those guys they lived in another unit, so they couldn't even come to the time and place that we were supposed to do all this. But that's just a small story.
You know what would have happened to that Crip for fucking doing that out here? Because we don't care. Any thief, man, is open game to everybody. You know what I mean? Every race can jump his ass.
Yeah.
And that got handled way wrong, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
No, well, the thing was that this is what happened. Yeah, the blacks, they did violate this guy. But the thing was this kid had major hands, so everybody that they sent to go handle this Crip guy, the Crip guy beat them up. So the only reason that they wanted to get into a fight, or that we set up the fight, was because he was salty that this happened to him. And my homeboy, he was like, no, I do want to fight him. I do want to fight him. I don't want it to be. And so it was out of my control. The others were like, yeah, let him if he wants to do it. And if the blacks agree to it, then fine. So that's the only reason. It was a rare occasion altogether,
Right. So, a little about my channel, obviously. So, like the things I do today are because of the things that I did back then. You know what I mean? Like taking somebody's wind, I feel like I owe the universe. Do you feel that you're even with everything, or like, do you try and be a better man today than you were then, or tell me who you are today?
Absolutely. No, the guy I am today, man, if it wasn't for all of the guys that, tried to pull me to the side and talk some sense into me and, show me a better path. And, if it wasn't for these guys, I wouldn't be the type of person I am today. But I try and tell people that you don't have to live up to, it's like this, whenever we come out, that our own families, sometimes if you have families, that they have like that stiff one eye on you. They want to see you screw up, and so that they can make sense of life in the world, and they can say, "Oh, I knew P was the same. I knew the P was the same." So yeah, and so I just wanted to try and get out of that, and just be a better person, prove to myself that I can, I don't have to be that kid. You know what I mean? That made this
Well, you're not a
mistake.
kid anymore either. I mean, you got to be in your 30s, late 30s, right?
Oh yeah, 36. Yeah, whenever I say kid, I mean that I'm not that 20
That's what I
years
mean.
old.
Not that kid mentally anymore either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. That's why I believe. I don't know. You and I both know that there's people that absolutely, positively deserve to be where they are. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And
Hmm.
a lot of people would have said that about me. You know what I mean? That I should still be there, but yet here I am. I flipped my shit completely. I don't pat myself on the back for anything that I've done. You know what I mean? Because I haven't done anything in regards to the damage that I've caused in my eyes. You know,
Right.
uh, talking right down to grandma, mom, how many people I hurt. You know what I mean? And whether it was physically or mentally or whatever. You know, like I haven't began to repay back the universe for. I shouldn't be where I'm at. I shouldn't be, you know what I mean? Like, I should be dead. I should be doing life. But, by the grace of the God of my understanding, I'm out here and able to try and give back, and try and keep people like the younger generation, whatever it is, whether Cambodian, Mexican, black, whatever, white, whatever, to making the mistakes that we've made, you
Yeah.
know?
Absolutely.
So, uh,
And
you're still
yeah,
on
my
paper.
yeah. I'm on federal probation and state parole. Yeah.
Right. So, what are you doing to make sure that you don't return?
Keep steady employment. Make sure I have all those paycheck stubs, and definitely don't do any type of drinking or uh, drugs or anything like that, which I have no desire for any of that. But yeah, if you can do that, um, you'll
Just
have
trying
a good
to
life.
become a productive member of society, basically, right?
Basically. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Right. Well,
And
you're the first other on the channel, and I appreciate you coming on, man. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully, somebody will hear your story and be able to relate and go, fuck, maybe I shouldn't be carrying this gun tonight. You know what I mean? So, because if both players don't have guns, one player probably isn't going to use it. He's just there to show it or act scary. But if both players got guns, triggers getting pulled.
yeah,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean?
Absolutely. And what I try and promote too is that with this trying to get unravel the narrative and get out of this culture of today, I mean, it's much better a reward for yourself if you go down this positive path than just leaving in your wake devastation and chaos and all of this stuff. It's a much better reward on your conscience and for everybody in a whole of society if you choose a better path before having to go through all of this nonsense.
Absolutely. Hey, P, I thank you for your time, man. Like, I'll stay in touch with you and see where you're at. And maybe we'll do a follow up and see, like if you've improved it as far as work arrangements, living arrangements, and all that from time to time. All right.
Absolutely, man.
All right.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure talking with you, bud. Hey, yeah, thank you for coming on Heavy Hitters and keep pushing, man. Just keep pushing, you know what I mean? Lighten up on yourself and make sure that you're in touch with the base, God of your understanding on a daily basis, bud, and everything will be fine. All right? All
All
right,
right.
respect, bud.
Appreciate it.